Hello everybody and welcome to Omnipoke, the channel that brings you everything Pokemon. I'm Jack and today I finally have got around to recording a Mega Aggron deck analysis for you guys. I've been trying to record this video for the past couple of weeks, pretty much since the set was released, but I've had a really bad chesty cough. It's meant that I haven't been able to really record a video without coughing all the way through it. And it's also meant that I wanted to give my voice a bit of a rest just to make sure I'm both me and Joe are bringing you high quality videos rather than just pumping out videos where I'm coughing all the way through it and you can't really understand what I'm saying. So I decided to give my voice a little bit of a rest for a couple of weeks. That's probably why you may have noticed that there's been a lack of uploads from my end for a little while. But now we're back in the swing of things, ready to go, and I finally got around to getting a deck analysis done for Mega Aggron. So the only thing I wanted to say before I get into the deck analysis is we hit 100 subscribers. I think it was around the 5th or 6th of February. So I think it was about a week and a half ago. And basically to thank you guys, we set up a giveaway, and I uploaded a giveaway video around 2 to 3 weeks ago. So if you're watching this on the day of upload, the winner will be chosen at midnight on the 14th of February, so that's midnight today. So if you're watching this on the day of upload, make sure you head over to that video because you may still be in with a chance of winning 36 booster codes. All you got to do is head to that video and just double check, just follow all of the rules in the video. I'll also link the video in the description bar just so you don't have to go rootling around. It's nice and easy for you to get to. But yeah, enough waffle. You came here to see a Mega Aggron deck analysis, so let's go. First of all, I would usually start at the beginning, but I'm just going to start with the Aggron and Mega Aggron because they're the star of the deck. Aggron, mainly in here just to get Mega Aggron out, but Raging Hammer can definitely be used. It's a super overpowered outrage attack, basically. 60 plus 10 more for each damage counter on the Pokemon. Can get up to stupidly high amounts. And completely out of nowhere, you can throw up a Mega Aggron just to sort of sponge some hits, and then bring it in a little bit later on in the game when your opponent's not expecting it, when they're expecting perhaps a Mega Aggron or something else. You can bring up an Aggron with a few damage counters on it and be able to Raging Hammer for some pretty big damage. But yeah, the deck mainly focuses around Mega Aggron with its huge 240 HP. There is not much that can actually one-shot Mega Aggron at the moment. Not that I can think of. A lot of fire types can, but because it's weak to fire. But bar fire types, I think there's only other Mega Aggrons really that I can think of off the top of my head that can easily one-shot this guy. And even then, the Mega Aggron mirror can get very mathsy and can sometimes you can sometimes not be knocking out Mega Aggrons. The attack is pretty much why you're on this guy. Megaton Slam does 120 damage, and then on the choice of a flip, you don't have to flip, so if 120 damage is enough, then you don't have to flip the coin, but if you flip the coin with a heads, you do 120 more damage. If tails, you do 20 damage to each of your benched Pokemon. So, a very risky card, a lot of risk versus reward here, but as you can see, we do indeed run 2 Victini with the Victory Star ability to reflip any coins we want. Which brings our chances of getting a 240 Megaton Slam up to 75% every turn. And honestly, with odds like that, you're gonna be one-shotting a lot of things, if not pretty much everything around at the moment. Mega Aggron the only things I can think of, not including any of the Megas with Hard Charm, is Mega Aggron cannot one-shot a full HP Wailord EX because that thing has 250 HP, which is crazy high. And opposing Mega Aggrons with the new shield energy that reduces damage, Mega Aggron cannot one-shot those, but bar that, as long as your opponent's not playing Hard Charm, then you can quite easily one-shot pretty much everything in the format right now, which is crazy. Then to support Mega Aggron, we've got a 4-3 Bronzong line, pretty much just for this Metal Lynx ability. That means it really means you can just get rid of your Metal Energy really early on with Ultra Balls and compressors and dowsing machine, everything like that. Just get rid of them, and then still get them out of the discard and attach them to an Aggron waiting on the bench, ready to go, and it just makes Ultra Balling and things a lot easier. And obviously, energy acceleration in any form is really good anyway. And finally, to just sort of as secondary attackers, we've got an Aegis/EX. Slash Blast is an okay attack. It's not amazing, but it's not poor by any means. And Mighty Shield can completely shut some decks down. If they just play Special Energy, then it completely shuts some decks down, which is really nice. But it can also stall really well, and it means your opponent may have to think of another strategy of being able to take down an Aegislash. And finally, Heatran. I've chosen this as the non-EX attacker, pretty much because Steam Blast does a lot more, well, 50 more damage than Iron Breaker on the Cobalion. But I could see you running the Cobalion instead. This guy is pretty much just to get through Safeguarders, which is nice. And then, like I said, you could probably swap the Heatran for a Cobalion, and then the same here. I could completely justify seeing a Cobalion EX in here as well instead of an Aegislash. But I've gone for the Aegislash just because of the walling potential that it has, which is really nice. Onto the trainers, we've got 2 Battle Compressor, pretty much just because we don't mind. It means we can run through resources that we're not going to need for certain matchups, and we can also get the metal in the discard, ready to Metal Links next turn, which is really good. Ace spec wise, I've gone for a Dowsing Machine. I'm really debating putting in a computer search over the Dowsing Machine, but so far Dowsing Mech's done wonders for me. It basically means you can get sort of a 4th Spirit Link or a 3rd Megaphone or a 4th Switch, anything like that. Even more supporters is great. It's a lot more of a late game card compared to computer search, and that's why I'm considering putting in computer search, because Aggron itself is incredibly slow. You'll probably see that in the gameplay footage. Aggron itself is incredibly slow, so a computer search would probably boost consistency a little bit, but I've gone for the Dowsing Machine just because you're pretty reliant on the Metal Link's ability. So Megaphone's great. Everything in the deck has a huge retreat cost, bar Victini, so Switch is really important, and obviously the Spirit Links are really important just to streamline Mega Aggrons as much as possible. So yeah, I've pretty much explained those 3 cards, so we'll just move straight onto the Ultra Ball. Heavy Ball, I was thinking about this the other day. Heavy Ball would work absolute wonders in the deck, just because everything bar the Victini and the Bronzor has at least 3 retreat. So Heavy Ball would work wonders in the deck, but unfortunately, as it's been rotated out, we have to play Ultra Ball. Again, not too fussed about that, because we can quite easily get rid of basic Metal Energy, just do Metal Links later on in the turn. So yeah, Ultra Ball's just really good. 2 VS Seeker, I'd really like a 3rd in here, and I'd probably take out maybe an N or a Fan Club for a 3rd VS Seeker. But for now I've only got 2. 2's pretty much standard in a lot of decks at the moment. It just ups consistency, more outs to supporters is great, and it basically means you can get the supporter you want pretty much whenever you need it. There's not going to be many times where you're going to be VS Seekering for sort of only one supporter. There'll be perhaps 2 or 3 in the discard which you can choose from based on your situation. Onto the supporters themselves, I've got 2 Lysander. Pretty much just because Donphan is still around. It's still around online. It's still around everywhere pretty much. It had a pretty small showing in the UK, but Donphan definitely does run rings around EX decks, and therefore we want to be Lysandering just because we want to be able to take out the Donphans as easily as possible, especially when they're sort of built up. And also Heatran does the magic 130, which is really nice, which knocks out a Donphan sort of in one shot anyway, which is really, really good. I've gone for 4N pretty much because the deck is a slow one. There's not many times you're going to be going ahead on prizes early on, and that sort of means you don't mind having the 4th N, just because if you're going behind on prizes, then you're going to be disrupting your opponent as well as getting more cards for yourself, which is really nice. I could see taking one out, just like I said, for the third VS Seeker, but you know, I'm happy with 4 at the moment. 2 fan club. This could quite easily be 2 twins. Sorry, 2 teammates. Again, just because of how slow the deck is, how it often loses prizes early on, and then sweeps late game. Well, that's the aim of the deck. Yeah, they could quite easily be 2 teammates, but searching out your Bronzors is always really, really nice, and it just gives another out to turn 2 Bronzongs as well, if you can manage to get your fan club turn 1. 4 Juniper, just because it's a staple in every deck at the moment. And finally, 3 Skylar. There's so many single items that are really important for the deck, like the Spirit Link and the Megaphone, and the switches. They're all really important, and Skylar is the best way of getting them out. I don't think the deck deserves 4, just because I think the deck is clunky enough, and has a lot of resources it can't sort of get with the Skylar. That we have a very heavy Pokemon line, and a lot of the time you're not always going to need the Skylar, so I don't think a 4th is needed, but I think 3 is perfect just because of the sort of Spirit Links and the switches. The numbers we run of those, I feel it all works out really nicely. And then finally, onto the energy. I went over the Spirit Links a little bit earlier. They're just basically to get out Mega Aggrons without wasting the turn. No real special gimmick to them. Finally, we've got 3 double colourless, because all of the attackers in the deck actually are double colourless compatible, as you can see. Both Steam Blast and Steel Drop. Mega Aggron and both of Aggron's attacks, and then Aegislash as well. All of them are DC compatible, so why not run some DCEs, get some double attachments going each turn. If Enhanced Hammer was to go up in play, I would perhaps take the 3 DCEs out in favour of 3 basic metals, just to be able to metal links a bit more. But at the moment we're only running 5 basic metal energy. That's what I feel the deck's biggest problem is at the moment. It sometimes can't metal links when it needs to, which is unfortunate. But even so, I feel 5's at least enough to be able to metal links quite regularly. When you need to, though I could easily put in another 1 or 2 in favour of some of the other energy we've got in the deck, just because metal links is the deck's energy acceleration, and therefore without getting the metal links off, it's pretty difficult to stream attackers as easily as possible. And then finally we have the new shield energy. We've got 3 of them. This card can only be attached to metal Pokemon. It basically reduces 10 damage for each special shield energy on the active Pokemon, which makes Aggron even tankier. It can survive so many hits, even if you're just sort of sitting in front with a shield energy while you're building up an attacker on the bench. So useful, and obviously it works for all of our attackers as well. It works for Aegislash and Heatran as well. So shield energy is definitely important. Helps with the survivability of Aggron. But yeah, that's the deck. There's nothing sort of too gimmicky about it. It's a very standard list, but I'm really liking the list at the moment. It is perhaps a little bit clunky, but even so. So we're going to head into a game, see if we can show off what Aggron does. We're going to go for a random battle and on the ranked leaderboards, and we're going to go with Aggron. You can see a couple of the other. You might have seen a couple of the other decks. I've been editing this deck sort of because I haven't been able to play. Record. I've been editing the deck over time, so this is pretty far from the original list I had. The original list was a lot more focused on the Raging Hammer attack, but I think Mega Aggron overall is just a better attacker. But we're up against Solis, and it looks like we're going to start with a Victini, which is not nice. We've got a bit of an Aqua Magma face-off here. And he is playing Genesect. Okay. So, Let's see what we can do here. We're going to draw, and I think I'm going to go straight for the Ultra Ball, discarding... I hate to discard a Bronzong, but I think we're going to have to here, because I wanted to use that Juniper anyway. And I'm going to get myself an Aggron. Let's have a little look to see how many Bronzors and Bronzongs we've got. We've actually only got one more Bronzong in here, so discarding the Bronzong was pretty brutal, but it had to be done maybe. Well, I think it had to be done, yeah, because I want to be able to get off a Juniper here. So we're going to go for the DC and Spirit Link straight away, and then VS Seeker the Juniper. I could have got the switch from the Skylar, but I don't think there was really any need to. I'm going to hold on to the Victini just to make sure, just to see whether he wants to take out this Victini. And then if he does, I'll play the Victini next turn. But for now, there's no point in having two Victinis on the board. It's just going to take up a bench space, so I'll keep hold of the Victini for now. He's just going to attach and Muscle Band and pass, which means he's got a pretty rough hand. So I'm not going to go for the N. I'm going to go for a Fan Club here and get... I could either get two Bronzors or I could get the Aegislash, which will mean that basically he can't attack with anything that he attaches a a Plasma Energy to. That could be nice. Also with the Bronzors, we can't get more than one Bronzong out for a little while, so it may not be worth getting two Bronzors down, because I'm pretty sure one of them will just be catcher killed. So I'm going to bench both of those guys. I attached the shield earlier on, and then we're just going to pass it over to our opponent, see what he can do. Next turn I may have to N, because I do not want to discard what I've got in my hand at the moment with the Juniper, but we'll see what else our opponent can do. He's an Ultra Ball, probably looking for either a... I could definitely see a Virgen. Yeah, he's going to go for the Virgen, and he's going to pass it over again, which is, again, pretty nice. I really don't want to discard the double colourless, but I think I might have to here. I'm also going to bench the Victini, because we're going to be Junipering. I'm going to bench the Victini and see what we get. We did get the Bronzong, which is nice, and we did also get the Metal Energy for Metal Links. So next turn we can indeed Metal Links. Or this turn, sorry, we can indeed Metal Links, and I'm also going to be able to get a Mega Aggron out this turn. Now, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to swing at the Genesect this turn, because there is no way of me being able to switch out, but even so, I'm pretty happy with the board presence we've got at the moment. Looks like he's going to have to attach a double colourless to the Genesect, which is pretty brutal. And he's going to go straight for that Victini. Intelligent play. So I'm going to go for the Spirit Link on the Aggron. I'm going to get another Bronzor down, and I'm going to go for the Megaton Slam, and indeed I'm going to flip to try and one-shot this guy. Uh-oh, if we do not flip heads this time, Victini will be going down next turn, which is unfortunate. It does look like Victini's going to be going down, but that's the risk of playing Mega Aggron, unfortunately. But even so, I feel okay about constantly doing 120s, even if I can't get the sort of the decent flips on Megaton Slam. The question will be whether I begin to flip and risk it, but we'll have to wait and see. He's indeed gonna hit me and take out the Victini, which is unfortunate, and I do not wake up, which is even worse. We do get the Mega Aggron, which is nice, and I'm going to go for the Juniper here just to see if we can get some switching switching cards going, and it does not look like we can. So, what to do here? I think I'm gonna go for the megaphone just to get that, get him doing a little bit less damage. I'm gonna go for the Ultra Ball, discarding the 2 regular metals, and I'm gonna get another Aggron. I'll throw the Aggron down, attach the special to it, and let's get Metal Lynxing again. Putting them onto the Aggron, just because this guy's going to be powered up. Maybe I should have powered up the Mega Aggron instead, but even so, I'm pretty happy with powering up the Aggron as well. Aggron stays asleep, which is unfortunate, and we are going to be going down to a Genesect this turn. He's going to go for a town map. It looks like he plays Herbal Energy, which is interesting. And Keldeo. I'd be interested in seeing why he plays Keldeo, especially as he can't be affected by special conditions. But he's going to be able to take out the Mega Aggron. And we are going to send up the Aggron of our own. So we're going to draw. We do actually get the Metal Energy, so I could still headbutt this turn and take a prize. Yeah, I'm going to attach the Metal Energy to the Aggron, and then I'm going to Juniper away this Lysander. We do get a couple of things going, but nothing too useful. I'm going to Metal Lynx the energy onto the Aggron on the Mega Aggron on the bench, and then I'm going to go for the Steel Headbutt. Doesn't really matter about the flip because we're going to knock out anyway. And we'll take our first 2 prizes. So yeah, the deck is pretty slow, but hopefully if I can get this Mega Aggron set up, we will be able to start steamrolling through our opponent. He's actually going to go for the red signal on the Mega Aggron. That's interesting. He's going to poison it as well. That's pretty big. But we do have 2 switches in hand, so that shouldn't be too important. He's also benching the Cubchoo, so it looks like he's playing a sort of a Cubchoo, a Beartic based Virgen deck. What do I want to do here? Now I could get a Mega Aggron out here. I could get this fresh Mega Aggron out. I think that's probably going to be the best play. Is there any energy in the discard? There's 2 double colourless and 2 shields. We've got a 3rd shield there. So there's 1 more energy in the discard. So I think the best thing to do here is probably a bit dangerous. Attach the DCE and go for the dowsing machine. I'm going to go for the dowsing to try and grab the Spirit Link to attach to the Aggron, and then I'm going to Ultra Ball a Skylar and another Skylar because we've got the VS Seeker in hand, so we're going to be able to get a supporter next turn anyway, or even a supporter this turn. If I want to take out that Genesect, that probably is the best play actually. So we're going to switch into the Mega Aggron, and then VS Seeker, debatably for a Lysander, to bring up that Genesect, and we're going to flip. We're going to go for the Megaton Slam, see how it goes. Yes, let's flip. And yeah, we do indeed knock out the Genesect, so that's a huge chunk of his energy gone. He is going to be able to hit us next turn with the Virgen, but even so, I feel okay about that. And we do get the Bronzong, so he's not going to be able to snipe the Bronzor if he just decides to try and take 2 prizes that way. He's going to grab a Hypnotoxic Laser with the Shadow Triad. Those are usually saved for the G boosters, but looks like in this case he's going to be wanting to take out this Mega Aggron as quickly as possible. So let's bring up a Bronzong. Sorry, evolve into a Bronzong. And I'm actually going to go for the Battle Compressor, seeing if we can discard any metals. It looks like one of our metals is prized, which is unfortunate. So I'm going to discard the Fan Club, just because we don't need the Fan Club anymore. And here it's going to be down to the flip, I think. We're going to end our opponent to 2. And, looks like it's going to be down to the flip. So we're going to Megaton Slam, we're going to flip, and this will decide whether we win in the game. And we do indeed get the flip, taking out the Virgen, taking our last 2 prizes. So that's what Mega Aggron does. It flips to see if it can deal huge amounts of damage and take out your opponent that way, rather than sort of whittling them away quickly. Mega Aggron just looks to take them out in one shot. But yeah, there's not much else to say about the deck. It's incredibly slow, but if you like setup decks, then it's definitely worth a try, even if you don't like it overall. It's a lot like a lot of the metal decks of the past, so if you've played metal in the past, you'll probably really sort of get into using this deck pretty quickly. The difference is you're going to be doing a lot more damage if you can manage to flip well, which to start with I didn't know whether we would, but overall we managed to flip pretty well with the big metal monster himself. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys, and make sure to check out that giveaway video. Like I said, I'll put the link in the description. You have probably about 12 hours to get your comments in and sort of registered, and you could be in with a chance of winning 36 packs of Primal Clash online, to help boost your collection a little bit, just as a thank you from us here at Omnipoke. But yeah, like I said, not much else to say. Thank you very much for watching, guys, and have yourself a good day.